Hello YouTube. We are at Swayback Bridge Trail in Elmore County. They've got so many of them. I'm gonna walk about 10 miles today, and I will be on trail 8, and I'm gonna go, well, I think I'm gonna start at 7 and then come around and do this here and come through there. It's gonna be about a year, I believe. Just when I get in there, I'll see how much because if I do both of these, that's 10, and they go by the water. See, it's just a hiking trail. And then I'll come out here and I'll show you. There's an advertisement there, and let's see here. I'm trying to look for a date. Alright, that's in June. So there's your barcode. You want to hit that. There's a couple of more signs out here I wanted to show. They have a lot of events out here. You can join one of the events and walk the trail, and they have a wilderness trail and like races and different things like that. There's another scanner. Get more information. And I'm fixing to make my way to the trail, and I will see you in a second. This is an entrance. It's not my trail. I just wanted to show the main. If you was gonna walk the whole trail, this is where you would come in at. It's at the parking lot. It's a beautiful place. Now, when I was growing up, we drove down here. So there's a lot of memories. I got a lot. They have blocked it now because it's walking trails, and they've added a lot of stuff to it. But when we were kids, this is where we come and drove the car down here and could last all weekend. One of the best memories I have down here is with a friend of mine that comes on my channel, Heart of Music City. Me and her had so much fun. There's a lot of memories here. I hadn't been here probably since I was a teenager. I've done videos of different places out here. This is a really big place. See, that's new, that gazebo there. It's extremely nice. Be a great place to have a picnic, and it's so cool in these woods because of the shade. You can see how beautiful everything is, and the lake is right down there. Oh, it's a rustic. They've really done a lot of work here. It's an excellent trail. I've seen people on bikes, and it goes through all these beautiful old forest, up and down all these hills. I'm really impressed with this gazebo that they've done it with natural wood. That is really pretty. Let me see if I can get back where I can get the whole thing in my shot. I'm gonna get that lake back there. There we go. That's a beautiful shot. Let's go see what that sign says on it. But we used to park right here. This was the parking place. There's the American Indian Heritage. But we would park up here, walk down this gully. We'd have our camping site where that gazebo is. Or we'd swim across to one of these islands. That's what we called them. But this wash has always been here. And you can see how beautiful it is. And I believe I have taken everyone to that area. But what we would do is get in the lake here and swim across over here where they had a rope swing. Then you could swim from there to over here where they have a beach. And the thing was, it was a shortcut if you swim, because to walk around was the hard way. And it is really beautiful in here. You can see how it goes back. I'll get closer to these water places. Let me get back up this hill. See a trail here they made. So I'm gonna see if this is gonna lead me around the way I think it is, and what it's gonna lead me around. There's one of my flowers. Never like to miss those. There's something blue. When we walked it as kids, we'd be down there on the waterway. We didn't have a trail like this. But you can see why we would choose to swim across the lake instead of walking it. Kids got all the energy in the world and will sure enough take shortcuts. Nothing like a good shortcut. Let's make some more purple. It has always been just extremely beautiful in here. That is what you call a pawpaw tree. That right there. That grows a big old fruit like a it's like a mango. We could find it. There's probably an adult tree around here somewhere to have that baby there. Look at big leaves. But it grows it's a natural plant. So they got this all. We would always take the trail right there and go around. But since they've made it like this, I think I'm gonna, well, that's from tornadoes. That's a big old tree. Big old pine. That is a big joker. You can see this is part of the wash that comes down and goes to the lake. That's my favorite mushrooms. Them things are so beautiful. They remind me of the rocks I look for with the lines and stuff. That big old vine they done been swinging on. It's hard to see because it blends in. But you'd be surprised how high you can get on a vine like that. But I have sure enough, I actually lost a friend on a vine like this one time when I was a teenager. They were swinging across a big gully and they'd been using that vine all summer. And he went around it that last time and it snapped. And when it snapped, he fell down to the bottom and wrapped around a log that was going across the gully, and it killed him instantly. His brother was watching. Never forget that. I never swung on a vine again. It always had to be a rope, like that couldn't break. This has always just been such a beautiful place for me. Of course, when I walked out here, like again, it was woods. And you just made your way through it. You could see why we would swim across. You know, I was sitting there looking at that sign in the beginning. It looks like it's probably about 15 or 20 miles of trails out here. be quiet where I won't spook any fish I might get a picture of. Because I see a lot of, oh, I see them. Because you don't think you can see them because that water's so deep. But they can be down 5 feet or more. And you can see them. That water's clearer than you think. It's just reflecting the bottom. The light's coming back up. And I don't... It's hard to come back all these years later. I can tell you though. There's that big knot on the log. Boy, they're eating it up down there for some reason. You can hear them all in those water plants. That's always been there since I was a kid. I did another video where I got my hand on it. Let me see if I can do that again. Maybe. Spring is just springing in. A lot of the mimosas and stuff hadn't even had time to bloom. There's a little bench to stop and rest. That's a blueberry tree. It's a black walnut. That is too. All these bigger bushes out there. That's all blueberry. Pecan. I'm looking for the signs of where we were when we were kids, because we had a big old rope swing. And I know they took that down. Been so long ago. I could be right here. My friend lost her mother's beautiful gold and diamond ring. She had taken it to wear being a kid. And I've always wanted to try to find where we were and go down there and find it. What? Something big got in that water. There's otters and stuff in here too. There's a good place up here where I collect those beautiful freshwater clams, the big ones. I've got videos in my history when I first started doing YouTube of me bringing my dogs down here and letting them swim. I'm gonna start doing that again, but I've never done that with my camera because I like to have complete control over my dogs. It was amazing the bald eagle was making such a good comeback. I'm so happy about that. That's tornado tree. There's another one. But they're just the older stuff that needed to come down anyway. There's our trail, but I'm gonna walk out here. This is another place where we used to camp. We drive down in here and camp out all on this area, and this wasn't here. This is all new. I know there's some big fish. That's that persimmon tree right there. And that's a real good persimmon tree. I pick out of that every year. Let me see if we can catch any big fish coming in. Oh, I just seen the otter. I knew they were here because I always come and harvest their shells. They eat right here. We just had 4 days of rain, so it's kind of hard to see down there, but I don't see any yet. By the summertime, though, well, I do see them, but I doubt y'all can see it because of the reflection. Yeah, you can see them. They'll lay here and they're on their backs and open those big clams. They're about 4 or 5 inches. That's the dam I'm always making videos at on the other side, where it shows the asteroid strike. We're on top of it now. Well, this is Lake Jordan. I've done videos all through here. Something real big just jumped out there. So they're hitting. It's strange being out in these areas without my pole. And you can see that's where we started out. I'm not sure if you can see that gazebo in there. But the water is just like these gullies. That's how fast it drops off when you get here. That water gets so deep, you can fish 20 or 30 feet right out there. And those big catfish come in here to feed in these inlets. Let's get back on the trail. I'd stay here all day and reminisce here. Nothing like getting up early in the morning, walking 10 miles. I actually enjoy it. Done had my coffee and all my goodies. You see, that's just the blueberry everywhere. They love this rocky mountain soil. Let me see if I can get up here and get a picture of that. That's a new one. But there's no hunting, nothing like that allowed out here. There's another tornado tree. Boy, there'd be some good fishing right there around that tree in the water. It's definitely hot in here. I don't know if y'all can see that old log going down. Yeah, you can see it. That's what you do. You stand here and wait and get quiet, and you watch them go over the top of that. And throw your line, make it look like something's running. Uh-oh. Rocks. Boy, I found some good ones the other day. Man. I was actually on them. Feels good. Yeah, otters are down there in that tree. You can see those wild iris down there. I believe I'm going, because this trail goes up and around this gully. But I think I want to head straight down. I don't know if you can tell how steep this is. But I'm fixing to see if I got a good grip on this. Yeah, I can do this. It's still early. As in, see, this old trail we used to use when we were kids. You can see it. Because we'd walk around this. This gully instead of swimming across it. I was raised to call this a poor man's orchid right here, and later found out that that's actually an orchid there. These are a wild iris. There's some blooming. Well, I'm not taking pictures of the trash. Here's another wildflower that grows in here that a lot of people don't get to see, because it takes a lot of water for this to actually grow. I don't know the name of that, so if you want to try to look it up, put it in the comments. Trying to get down here without getting in the snakes. That is beautiful. Man, that's pretty. Get some of them for my yard. Not today, though. I will get me some. Now I gotta walk up the mountain. Off trail. Spider webs. Just ignore them spider webs. Unless that joker lands right in your face with a big spider in it. Whoa. There we go. Undamaged. Now we know why they had the main trail. It's nice and flat and easy. see where that tornado knocked that tree down. And somebody's been fishing that log, like I was saying. Standing right there in that tree. I just heard a bunch of them popping around that tree. Some of the biggest fish I've ever caught in my life was out of here. Has somebody been knocking at the rocks, getting that quartz, because it's got surprises in it. Can't help myself, y'all. There's some pink quartz in there. So for sure look different from the sky than when you get down and pick it up. Got me a good sweat going. It's another dock. So that's two. This is wheelchair accessible. So if you do need assistance or you are using a wheelchair, you can have access to this. And there's nothing better to get out here on this lake. I'll walk back through the wheelchair accessibility trail to let everybody see. Because if you want to make somebody feel better, you roll them out here or roll yourself out here and get you some fresh air and some sunlight. That will definitely have you feeling better. Look at that white crane. See if I can pick him up. It's a beautiful place. Even the water plants are. You can see that other bridge we were at is over there. Well, pier. It is definitely beautiful out here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there is a path going back, like in a river, but it's going to that hydroelectric dam that I found that rock slide. It ain't really a rock slide because it's just the whole shoreline just collapsed, landslide. Yeah, that's it. But it goes for miles and miles, and then it actually steps up to another lake that's just as big, and it keeps doing that. I think there's 4 lakes up there. I love the way you can see the wind in that, moving through that grass from that boat. And they all have blooms on them. And I have caught every single one of those. And they left some out. Because they got the white crappie, and they got the sun perch, This is the wheelchair ramp, or just assisted, you know, if you had to have a nice flat surface to get down. I think it's really nice the way the world is making things accessible to people with handicaps or disabilities. I don't really like to use the word handicap because I've noticed those people usually work harder and do better than anybody I've ever seen. Trying to get him to fluff up for me. He's out there fishing in that grass. Boy, they have really done some nice stuff out here. I hadn't seen any of this. Look at that big old nice bench. I guess that'd be a perfect transfer if you were in your chair and wanted to get out of the chair and just sit. It's even got cup holders in the side of it. That's a black walnut. That's an oak tree. That might be it right here. I can smell the leaf and tell you. Yep, that's it. You can smell that. That's a big old crow. Big crow. See them all jumping because they seen me? Man, this place is full of fish. People don't fish like they used to fish when I was growing up. A lot of people won't even use caught fish. They have done got their mind on thinking that you got to go to the store to buy everything. Ain't nothing like free food. A lot of great information out here too. Y'all forgive me, I'm wiping sweat. I'm enjoying it. I love a good sweat. It's another area here. We're almost at the top of this one. You can see they've got a nice picnic table there. I'm gonna get that bottle. I just don't like it sitting there. I'm not even gonna show what it is. I'm just gonna pour it out. That's a nice table. It's got that rubber lined on it. So no scratching, no rust, no metal. It's all coated with rubber. I'm gonna take this and put this where it's supposed to go. Because you can see how beautiful and clean it is out here. Some people don't understand. There's a reason why it's so clean. You had to walk back to a car to get out of here. That's just me. And I believe a lot of people that like to do walking like I do and get in these trails, we do a lot of cleanup. Nothing wrong with it. I keep a big bag in my backpack for one of those trips. I might do a video on one day, but so far everything's been really clean. I have a trail I want to take y'all on in Montgomery, Alabama, called Lagoon Park. And I used to go out there all the time and clean up. And then I become a member of their society there. Here we go. There's phone numbers and everything you'll need to find out more about this. And they have parking. And then there's bathrooms right there. And it opens up to a boat launch. I just really want to stay on these trails and get my walking in. It is beautiful here. I like this one. I don't like to be by the road. Not that anybody's driving down this road. That's another reason I love it out here so much. But used to, this was just a local. You had to know about it, or you didn't know about it. I love the way a tree can recover. See where it was, and it fell, and it took root. And there it goes. Just beautiful. Uh-oh. Rocks. But I can imagine all that's been picked through. All these eyes walking down this trail. As you can tell, it's got traffic. They may come on the weekends or in the evenings. I'm pretty early this morning. I like to beat the crowds in and beat the crowds out. There's a fern. Tell you what, I'm gonna go off trail. Look at that. Somebody's favorite color. Orange. An orange mushroom. Okay. Let's see. I want to go. Get back on that trail. Up and over. See where the old timers used to throw rocks around the trees when they were cleaning this out. That's why you got rocks. That shows that at one time somebody was up here and had them a garden, because all the people that built these dams used to have houses in here. And so when they were cleaning their fields, they would always put the rocks beside the trees. There's the trail. And that's all muscadine there, wild grapes. And they'll grow up in the trees. That's a big muscadine vine. Oh, huge egret. Wish I could have caught him. There's a big old cypress tree coming up in the middle of that water there. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I'm gonna do a video this summer and have my camera harnessed to me. Nope. And dive in there and let everybody see what that looks like when you go under it. It's a whole other world when you dive down about 20 feet. The way the sunlight starts breaking up into beams, it's amazing. That's all them tornado trees. We had a whole bunch of tornadoes come through for a little while. A couple of seasons or 3. They didn't hit in April, because here we used to have a saying, April showers. But that didn't come until May this year. It's really beautiful in here. So peaceful. Oh, there's me another mushroom. I've actually had one of those once. Never eat that again. And I'm not going to say why. But I'll never eat it again. That is a stupid teenager mistake. Natural little truss. I love to take deep breaths through my nose. Oh, look. Orange mushrooms. Fairyland. Now I'm going to have to tag somebody else. They'll know what I'm talking about. Let me do this. That's actually for the shot. It's just really nice too to see something that's changed since I was young and growing up. Ooh, look at that huge, oh, he dove. There was a 30, 40 pound turtle on top of that water there. Man, I wish I'd have seen him on time. There's a reason he's that big. He's been smart enough to stay away from humans. Man, that was a big turtle. He ain't coming back up, that's for sure. Smart. Look at that beautiful moss. It's just so interesting to me now that I've been doing this. I know I hadn't been making videos that long, but I've been back hiking these trails and getting in these woods. I did it for a while before I did my first video. Getting my legs back and my breath. That was the hardest thing to get back, is your breath. But now, I was telling a friend of mine, it's like, man, it's surprising, but I could literally walk for miles. Look at the turtles on that log. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Let me see if I can get quiet. Nope, Al jumped in. Yeah, they're sunning on that log. Another big old tree in the water. It's hard to tell the difference between a reflection on from the other side to the actual tree in the water. Nice cool breeze going now. See, I see another. I don't really. I'd like this to go right here and do me another cut through, and I've seen this. I'm not the first one to think about it. I done hit the ground one time. But it didn't hurt. I'm all good. I have sure hit it harder. There's a mushroom that's done gone through its prime. I'm gonna get him on a video, make him famous. It is just mushroom season. But there's another red one. But I would not even advise touching those. Here's an old firing target. That's amazing. I'm gonna take me a picture of that. I'm gonna set that right here so other people can see it. Glad I come through here now. There's some kind of metal in that. Flat metal. It's not iron. Never seen that before. But it looks like copper. The way that does right there. Sometimes it's hard to tell if y'all can see what I can see until I get home. Get up here to this trail. Phew, made it. Shortcut. Let me grab this thing right. I think I enjoy hearing stuff jump in that water. I've been telling people how strange it is to be coming out here without a fishing pole, especially down on that river. 'Cause I mean, I never in my life ever thought that I'd be following the rocks, not the fish. But my mama has put in an order of some fresh fish. So I got to find some time to get down there and pull them. And get her a pan of fish. I've got plenty of fish that we eat, but not country people want what they had growing up. And you can't buy that from the store. This looks like wood. It's not, that's a mushroom. I didn't see that joker. That's something else. If I get out in that sun, I'm gonna be really hot. Well, some good rock candy right here. But I'm truly believing these are tossed rocks. There's just too many of them. Somebody had them a place up there a long time ago and got their land cleaned up. There ain't nothing like a cleaned up rock. Cause I mean, they're just everywhere. And this is the area where that petrified wood is with all the jersey on it. There's a tornado tree. Pop that joker right now. Vitamin D. Some of you might know what that is. Out in Lagoon Park, they got these little tags, and you get them from the Forestry Service. And then when you tag a tree, you scan it, and it automatically puts it on their app. So whenever you see a tag, you can hit it and see when they put it there, and report on the tree and that you've actually scanned the tag and how the condition of the tree, different little questions they ask. That's a nice little wash. That's why this area is so spotty. It's all these down trees they had to come in here, and I like that they cut them and leave them the way it's supposed to be. And the only time they cut it is when it's jeopardizing the trail. It always hits me about right at this time that I gotta walk back. There's somebody been putting them a little collection on the stump. I have put some pretty rocks on stumps for people to find. I think I'm gonna cut through right here because I'm running long, and I promised I'd be home early. I still got to do all the things I have to do. There's a nice little patch of ferns. Hey fern, you know what I mean? Drink me some water. That's one thing I forget about. You can hear them big critters down there in that water. You don't never get to see anybody because they hear you before you get here. I guess I'll just walk until I hit a road and then figure out which way to go. Oh, thought I seen me some money. I love to find money. I was thinking about that last night. I'll pick up any money. There's people here that don't do that. I've seen people, young people actually throw money, throw change on the ground. No, well, it must not work. Throwing it down. Working for it. There's a good rock hunting place. Under that tree. And somebody's been at it a little bit. Right. You'd have to really get in there to find something. Even if you did, because we are literally on top of big old mountains. Because this drops down real deep off these cliffs. See, there's that very first pier we were at. Across that. Then we went to the one that's behind that. And now I've done made it all the way back through here. Love me some gray moss. That big old mushroom. That's a pretty one. Getting more mushrooms than flowers. Just trip around. That. Kind of make you feel like you're walking in circles sometimes, but you know you're not when you look at where you're at. You can see that dam through there. Y'all, I appreciate everybody. I love making these YouTube videos. It's changed my life. I just love being out here and bringing people along with me, and people in the future will be able to watch this. Hello to the future. Y'all be blessed and have a good evening, morning, or whatever time it is where you are. Thanks for being with me. Be blessed.